everyone. Today we are going to be doing another Sheglam makeup collection review, and today we're going to be reviewing their newest collection, which is called the Ember Rose collection. So this is what the gift box of this one looks like. It kind of gives me very like romantic, vintage, kind of like scrapbooky kind of vibes, and this is supposed to be like their Valentine's Day collection. So I have the entire set here. I'm gonna go through all the products, show you how they apply, what I think about them, what I'd recommend, and what I would say to skip on. So this is what the packaging looks like. It almost kind of reminds me of like a puzzle box when I first look at it, but this does have a really cool feature that I haven't seen before on the rest of the Sheglam packaging, and there's actually a little switch on the side here, and it lights up. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And when I was first opening this up, I saw the little switch and I'm like, huh, what is that for? And I switched it on and I was like, that's kind of cool. So you can buy this as a full collection or products individually. So the full collection price is $63.49, and I will go through all the individual products as well. So when you open it up, this is what the gift box collection looks like. So we have the 3 cream blushes here. There is the special freebie gift here. There is the color palette here. We have the 4 color of the lip glosses here, and then the 4 colors of the lipsticks here. So let's get into the first few products. We're going to start with the cream blushes. So they do have 3 different color options in the cream blushes. So this is what the packaging of these look like. Again, very cute and romantic and very kind of like vintagey inspired. And these are just called the Ember Rose cream blushes. This first one is the color that I am using today, and this one is in the color I'm Yours. So the weird thing about this, when I was first using this, I did not realize in the moment that these were cream blushes. And I was applying it with this type of brush that I would use with a powder blush, and I was like, it's applying okay, but you know, it's kind of nothing special. And then when I was going back and gathering my notes for this, and I was looking up all the products and the prices and everything and kind of getting all that together, I saw that it said that this was a cream blush, and I'm like, what? That's a cream blush? Because when I applied it and I did like little swatches of it at first, it felt like a powder blush to me, and I was like, there's no way that is a cream blush. So I went back, and there's almost like this little top layer that you kind of have to work through. It almost felt like a powder top layer, and then once you broke through that, then it like really is a cream blush. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is a cream blush. So I'm gonna do like some live swatches of these as well, because I feel like my first swatches weren't that good, because it does really have that like cream to powder finish, and I honestly didn't break through that first little layer to get a really good accurate color swatch. So this one is the color I'm wearing today. I actually think it's a really pretty color and I liked it. And like I said, this one is in the color I'm Yours, which is this color right here. There is no shimmer to it, so it's just a matte cream blush. And again, like I said, it has that like powder or like cream to powder kind of finish, because when I first was swatching these, I wasn't too impressed. All right, so moving on to the next color. This one is a little bit deeper. This one is called Soulmate, so it's definitely a little bit more of like a burgundy kind of color, and do a swatch of that. So that is what it looks like full on. I haven't blended it, so if I do kind of go back and like rub my finger over it a little bit, it does soften it just a little bit, and it turns almost to this very slight kind of like silica or slipness to them. So that's what that color Soulmate looks like blended out. It's just a little bit deeper and almost just a little bit more pinky toned compared to I'm Yours. All right, and then moving on to the final color. This one is called Love Language. Kind of like a brick tone or a terracotta tone, a little bit more on the orangier side. So again, we're gonna swatch this one. Okay, so that is the color Love Language. So you can see it's definitely a little bit more on the warm tone side. And again, if I kind of blend that out a little bit, I actually quite like this formula, I'm not gonna lie. So those are the swatches of the 3 blush colors. So I have to say, my very first opinion of these before I realized they were cream blushes, I was kind of like, I don't really care for these too much. They kind of just seem like the regular blush formula, but something just feels a little weird about these. And then of course I put 2 and 2 together. So then when I went back, I applied just a little bit more blush on, and I actually really like this one. Kind of like a little bit more on the bright side, not bright, but you know, it's a little more bold than what I would typically wear. And I feel like that's kind of like perfect with like Valentine's Day. And if you really kind of like that more blushy kind of look, I feel like these would actually be a really good option, because they're not so pigmented to the point where like it's gonna just stick there. They did blend out pretty easily. I like to use this type of makeup brush. It's kind of like a kabuki on a stick, and I feel like it just really like pushes the product into the cheek really well, makes it blend pretty easily, but still retains a good amount of color. So, you know, at first I would say skip on these, but I'm really starting to like these. They are $4.99 a piece, so I feel like that is pretty reasonable for a cream blush. Now, I don't think you would necessarily need to pick up all three colors because they are all in the same type of general color family. Like there's not like a pink and a plum and an orange, you know, they're all pretty slightly different from each other. I think if you have deep skin tone, the best color for you would most likely be Soulmate, because this one just has that ever slight bit of plumminess to it, and it is just a little bit more on the deeper, more rich side. So for deep skin, I would totally recommend this color. I feel like it would show up quite nicely. And I feel like for more of like medium to light skin tone, you could go with either one of these, with either I'm Yours or Love Language. You could go with either one just depending on what type of undertone you prefer. This one goes a little bit more towards a cool tone undertone, and this one is a little bit more of a warm undertone. So next up, I wanted to show the free gift. I probably should have done this first, but that's okay. So they call it the Enchanted Amour Plaster Rose. So that is the free gift. I have to say, usually most of the time in the free gifts, it's like something either like kind of silly or like kind of functional, or, you know, it goes with a theme. And I think this definitely goes with a theme. But it's kind of an interesting one because I'm not sure what I would do with this. Maybe you could use this like a little decorative object. I'm kind of considering making a mold out of this and making little soaps from this because I think it would be so pretty. Definitely a different type of freebie gift. Still kind of cute though. It's kind of got like that dark aged rose kind of look. It's interesting, so I give them points for out of the box. Moving on to the eyeshadow palette. Now this is, again, when I was first purchasing this, I just kind of gave it a quick look over, you know, what all came in the collection, and I was thinking that these were like separate little eyeshadow duos, but it's actually one product. So this is called the Ember Rose Burning Devotion Color Palette. They don't call it specifically an eyeshadow palette, so there could be some dyes in here that are not FDA approved or anything, but when I opened it up, I was like, oh, that's like different than I was expecting. So it looks like this, and it's kind of like this little like origami eyeshadow palette almost. So when you open it up like this, there are two shadows here. The first one is called Heartbeat, and then this one is called Fine Wine or Fine Mine. It looks like Fine Mine, but I'm sure that's not it. I'm sure it's Fine Wine, but I swear the font that they chose for this one totally looks like it says Fine Mine. So there are two colors there, and then it kind of like folds backwards, and then there's just like little additional art here. And then if you flip it over, there is another two shadows here. So the top one here is called No One Else and Box of Chocolates. Not gonna lie, I kind of wish they had put more eyeshadows in here. When you fold it all the way out, this is what it looks like, and there's only 4 colors. And all of the shadows in here are all like a, I would call them a satin finish. So there's no shimmer in here. There's no like true 100% matte. They're all like just the same finish, which I think would have been better if they had done like one shimmer in here to kind of like break up the, you know, same finishes in here. So you do have more of like a mauve taupe here, and then like a deeper, slightly burgundy kind of. Then there is like a medium brown here, and then a dark brown there. I did use all 4 colors on my eyes today, and I was just kind of underwhelmed by this product in the end. I would not recommend purchasing this individually. If you were wanting to pick out just some items, I would say skip on this one. This one does retail for $4.99, and honestly, I just wasn't that impressed with it. I think overall, you know, if you like a more subtle kind of look, this is the look that I came up with today. I feel like overall it looks all right. It kind of gives me like, what's the word? Just like a mauvey, like bruised look eye when I wear these types of color, which, I mean, some people like these types of colors and I don't mind them, but it's nothing that I'm like, wow, this is totally worth $5. Knowing what I know now, I probably would have skipped on this if I had not bought the collection. The finishes, I wish they would have broke that up a little bit and maybe even done like 2 more eyeshadows right there. I feel like they totally could have done that, and it still would have kept the same kind of cute like love letter kind of look and feel, but it would have had a little bit more shadow to it to play with. Moving on to the lip products. This is a very heavy lip product collection. We have 4 lip glosses, we have 4 matte lipsticks. I'm going to try all of these on with you guys. We're going to go through all the colors and see what they look like on me. Some of them are a little bit more of a nude tone, some of them are a little more red tone, some deep burgundies. So we've got all kinds of colors here. so there's probably something for everybody in this lip setup. So at the moment I don't have anything on my lips. I think we're gonna do the matte lipsticks first. This is what the matte lipstick packaging looks like. So usually their lip products are either sold individually or in a set depending on the collection, but this time they actually give you the option to choose just the lip sets or the colors individually, which I think is awesome. I just love having the choice of if there's only one color you want, just picking that up, or if you want to get the whole set, you can. I don't believe you get a discount though if you do get the full like lip sets versus the individual price, but if you want them all, you can get them all. If you don't want them all, you can pick out the colors you want. So individually, these are called the Dynamite Boom Long Lasting Matte Lip. They are $5.99 a piece, or if you get the set, it is $23.99. So let's just start applying these. I'm going to do the color Passion first. I'm not going to bother with lip liner just because I'm going to be taking these on and off so quickly, so really doesn't matter. So please excuse the application of this, but this one is more of like the nudiest kind of color, Passion. So let's just go ahead and apply these. Okay, I'm kind of really impressed with this. So it glided on very comfortably. It's very smooth, very creamy, very pigmented. It's not overly drying like I felt like some matte lipsticks would be. Now it's definitely a matte lipstick. It's not glossy or anything, but I love this color on me. Oh my gosh, I really love this color, Passion. This could be like an everyday lipstick for me. This might be one of my favorite lip products they have come out with in one of these collection sets. Kind of impressed with this one. The longer it sits on my lips, it does get more like matte, but I am definitely like a lip gloss kind of girly, so I would always probably put like a lip gloss on top of this. But if you like matte lips, I think you'd really actually like this one. For me, this is a total yes. I would buy this knowing what I know now. Okay, moving on to the next color. This one is called Cherish You. This one almost looks a little bit deeper than the last one. So let's go ahead and apply this one. Okay, this one is a little bit of a deeper color than what I would typically go for, but I don't think it looks bad on me. I actually kind of like this color. I feel like it really is working with the eyeshadow look today. If I wanted to go just a little bit deeper, but still very in my comfort zone, I feel like this is a really good option for me. So I actually kind of like this one. I'm not hating it. I think I'll go ahead and say, yeah, I probably would pick this one up knowing what I know now. This one might be a little bit out of my comfort zone. This one is called My Beloved, and this one is like, it's dark, y'all. It's dark. I don't know if this is gonna suit me, but I think that this would be beautiful on deeper skin tones. So let me show you what this one looks like. Ooh, I would absolutely need a lip liner with this one. Okay, definitely excuse the application on this one. I would 100% need a lip liner to kind of like make this all nice and neat and clean, but I want you guys to just, you know, be able to see the color. So this is My Beloved. This is way dark for me. I don't think I would personally wear this unless I wanted like a really deep berry wine merlot kind of color. This would be a good option, but overall I don't think that this color is one I would ever wear that often or get a whole lot of use out of. So for me, I wouldn't pick this one up, but this one could be beautiful on a lot of like deeper skin tone, or if you like a more dramatic lip, this would be an actually really nice option. I feel like it's quite pretty. My lips are starting to get a little messy. All right, and the last color for the lipsticks, this one is called Bliss. This one is a little bit more of like a warm cocoa-y kind of color. Let's see how this one looks on me. This one goes a little bit more towards like the warm side, a little bit of like slightly bit of orangey, or like slightly kind of like a yellowy nude almost. I think for me, I don't love it on my skin tone, but again, this could be good for more of like tan skin that goes a little bit more olivey or a little bit more warm. I feel like this is a good option for that type of skin tone. You know, it's not terrible on me, but again, it's a little bit darker than what I would typically go for. So just for me personally, I would skip on this color, but I can totally see this working out for a lot of skin tones. Okay, now moving on to the lip glosses. I'm very excited to try these out because some of these colors look really, really nice. So you can get these. They're called Ember Rose Immortal Love Nourishing Lip Gloss, and they are $4.99 a piece, so they're $1 cheaper than the lipsticks. And again, you can get these individually or you can get them in the lip set, which is $19.99. So you're not actually saving any money, but if you want to get them all, you can get the set. Or if if there's just one or two colors you want, you can get them individually. All right, so starting off, the first one we have is called Amore. So I'm excited to see what these look like because just from like looking at them and swatching them, I feel like I'm really gonna like these. So it's got a massive doe foot applicator here, and let's apply this one. All right, so this is the color Amore. I really like this. If you like a slightly thicker kind of lip gloss, this one is definitely going to be the one for you. Don't think there's any scents on these lip products. I forgot to check with the lipstick, but I didn't recall smelling any like fragrancing to it. This is very comfortable though. I like this a lot. I like this color. I would totally wear this color. This would be like an everyday kind of color for me. Throw on top of a lipstick, wear on its own. It has just enough color on its own to where you could get away with wearing it just, you know, on its own with nothing else. And I feel like it looks nice, feels glossy and plump and juicy. I do have to say that this is a texture of lip gloss that like if you were out in the wind and your, you know, hair blew onto your lips, your hair would get stuck to your lip gloss on this, but it doesn't feel like sticky on the lips. So for me, the color Amore is a yes. I would totally buy this one knowing what I know now. Actually like loving this color. This might be like a new everyday kind of lip gloss for me. All right, moving on to the next one. This one is called Unconditional. Let's see how this one looks. Looks like it might be just a little bit deeper than the last one. Ooh, this one's pretty too. And I love this giant like doe foot applicator. I quite like that. Okay, so this is the color Unconditional. I feel like it has slightly, just like a tiny bit more pigmentation to it. As far as like the undertone, let me kind of look at these real quick. They're actually not that different from each other. I feel like they're kind of similar. If I'm looking like very, very closely, the color Unconditional that I'm wearing right now is like the tiniest bit more of like a pinkier kind of tone. Overall, I do think these two colors are quite similar. I don't know, but I kind of like both of them. So I would probably get this one as well knowing what I know now, but I do think that these are very, very similar color-wise, like very slightly different. So you might not justify buying both of them, but I don't know, I do like both of them. Okay, this one, I think I'm kind of scared of this one. I think this is the one. It's called Everlasting. If this is the one I think it is, oh yeah, it is. This one is like an intense, like blood red, burgundy red kind of color. This one's gonna be a little bit intense, so let's try this one. Oh my god, look at that. It looks like blood. I feel like this is what should have been the Twilight ColourPop collection. Like this is the lip product they should have done. Absolutely would want a lip liner with this one. Okay guys, this, if you are into glossy red, like blood red, vampy kind of lips, this is the color for you. Oh my gosh. It is insanely pigmented for a lip gloss. Like this almost like is a lip vinyl kind of look. I don't really wear red in general that often, and especially not a glossy red. So if you're brave enough to wear this, this is a pretty cool color. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. I do know myself though, and I know that for me, this would very rarely get used unless I was doing like a specific like costume or something. I know my limits and I know this isn't a color I would wear. But if you're into those like kind of like gothy blood red kind of like insane lip products, this is definitely the one to go for. Alright guys, and on to the final color. Thank God, my lips are killing me now. And this one is in the color Treasure. So this one, let's see what it looks like again. It's another more of like that deeper toned one. This I think would be absolutely stunning on deeper skin tones because this color is probably just made for you. I think it's gonna be a little ridiculous on me, but let's see what the color looks like. All right, so compared to the last one, which was definitely like blood red, this one goes a little bit more towards like a brick tone kind of red, a little bit more on like the brownie, slightly cocoa-y kind of side, but not as like crazy bright red as the last one. I don't think that it really suits me too much, but like I said, this one would be beautiful on deeper skin tones. So if this is like a color up your alley, definitely check this one out because I feel like this is such a good product in and of itself. The one thing I wish they would have done though is just done a little bit of like flavoring to it, flavoring or scent, because it does have a little bit of that like plasticky kind of like lip product smell slash taste to it. So I mean, vanilla, you could do a cheap little vanilla scenting in there, and I feel like it would be so much better. But aside from that, I think that these are some pretty good ones. Like I said, I would recommend the first two colors for my skin tone and for like my color preferences, but even those darker two, I mean, if you are into like a bold lip color, you might want to check those out as well. All right, so for my own color, I'm gonna be doing Passion of the Matte Lipstick, and I'm gonna top it off with just a tiny bit of, let's do Amore lip gloss. Oh yeah, I really like that color combination on me. I'm not gonna lie, I think they did pretty good on this collection. Really, the only product for me that was a total flop, do not purchase, I wouldn't recommend, is the little eyeshadow palette. I just feel like they kind of like, I don't know, they kind of like cheapened out and wimped out on this one. I feel like they could have made it a little bit better, and I think that they got too caught up in like the cute like folding aspect of it that they kind of got lost on like the color selection. Again, I didn't mind the color tones, but I would have liked to have a shimmer in there, maybe a full matte, and then have like 2 satins would have been cool. But overall, this one just fell flat for me, so I would not recommend this to anyone. But everything else I was actually very impressed with, and I thought was very well thought out, well formulated products. Like I said, there are a few minor things I would change, like with the lip glosses. I wish they'd throw just like a little bit of like a vanilla scent or taste in there just to kind of cover up a little bit of that plasticky smell. But if that's not something that bothers you, I actually really like the formula of these, and I think that they're worth trying out. Alright guys, so that is it for all of my thoughts on the Sheglam Ember Rose collection. I hope this video was helpful to you in deciding what products are good for your skin tone or what you would be interested in, and what kind of products I think that you should just skip on from this collection. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.